Shalom, Labachayim, Shal Yashala, peace be to the election of the nation of Israel, consisting of the 144,000 first, the Rashim, the prophets, and 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, alright, being equaling to 144,000, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. Of course, we have Israelite foreigners, like unto the speckled bird, alright, amongst the elect, alright. I am, of course, giving a shalom to the 1/3 as well. Men, women, and children, believers in the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, who is not prophets but are believers, and will be receiving the salvation due to being predestined by Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright, Yahweh, giving them unto Yahweh Shai, and them receiving that exemption at the Wah from the judgment which is upon us. Though we will go through this tribulation and hard times, we, of course, if we are part of that Manah number, or Sapar, a number that count, we will be delivered. Alright, and if we are to die, of course our works do follow us, and we'll be first to come return with Yahweh Shai. Alright, of course, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutation again to the election. I'm the brother Mafa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia, just coming over a wee lesson. Of course, I got my favorite Edomite here on the screen. Yeah, he has some good information. He was going into speaking some truth. He tends to have good content. A lot of course, very informative videos. And unlike other Edomites that are uninformed, this informed Edomite is pretty realistic. Alright, so he gets that. Of course, this place is on a decline. You can tell how austere and serious his look is. You know what I mean? He knows definitely what's up. So I like to use him for my videos. So we're just gonna play some of this and just go from there.
There are so many lies right now. They're telling you that things are getting better at the exact same time that they're telling you things have never been worse.
Which is very double-minded. They're saying things are getting better. Of course, you see a so-called reopening, different mandates being lifted with the whole pestilence outbreak crisis. Various numbers are decreasing, cases. And of course, the more people are receiving the Sharat, becoming fully, having the dosage needed, okay, that they require, which will give them more liberties than they had prior to not having it in their bodies, okay? And of course, all of these come with an effect, and many will see that soon, okay, as time progresses. All right, everything that we do, as the scriptures say, that a man reap what a man sows, that he also shall reap. All right, which I will get real quick. Just give me a wee moment. Lord will, I can find this. Job chapter 4 and 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity, sin upon sin, and so wickedness reap the same. That's just one scripture. See if I can get into precepts. Galatians chapter 6 and 7, it says, "Be not deceived, the power of Yahweh Shemashai or Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever man soweth, that he shall also reap." And let's go into the term for reap and sow. All right, as you would think, you sow something like liken on to someone planting. It soweth. Going back to this Greek word here, which is spilero, which goes into metaphor, proverbial saying to sow or scatter seed, right? And now reaping, like I would think unto harvesting, going back to theredezo, which is to harvest, exactly. Proverbial expression for sowing and reaping. All right, which is as are crops that are cut down with a sickle. Of course, as you sow something, it grows after being nurtured, of course, by the shamash, the sun, and receiving, of course, nutrients from the earth, minerals, water, and other things, and the blessing of Yahweh Shem Shai, and growth, and then when it gets to its maturity, you can of course reap it. You get that harvest. Okay, well, same as if what the actions in which a man does, if you do wickedness and iniquity, sin upon sin, you're gonna reap the same. That's why we're doing our best and our best our ability to follow the Lord, to store up spiritual treasures in heaven, where moth and rust doth not corrupt. We of course are walking and being in the spirit, not in the flesh. Okay. Now, praying the Lord be merciful upon us through seeing His Son Yahweh Shai and His sacrifice for the nation of Israel, and that being our way and the reconciliation between us as the nation of Israel back to the Father. So continuing on, in order to, of course, have a hedge and a covering in these times, because it's going to be very, very rough. Things are beginning to get very, very tight. Okay, pennies are already being crunched, which I might mention, of course, about myself. So let's keep going.
We had an article sent in by Gabriel. It said, "Hello, Brad and Kelly. I thought this might be an interesting article that you might want to look into. The world economy is running low on everything," is the headline. "It's anything but efficient or normal. It's upending global supply chains. The events that are happening in the world around us are, according to researchers, pushing supply chains to the sheer brink of seizing up completely. Shortages, transportation issues, never-ending inflation. These are all things that you and I are seeing every single day. And I want to talk today about how they can tell you that the inflation is at 4.4%, but everywhere you look, it's 10%, 20%, 50%, 400% when you're looking at things like lumber. How are they lying to you right there, telling you inflation is at 4.4%, when what you and I go to pay, what the manufacturers go to purchase to create and then sell us, is at 10, 50, 100% inflated prices? How?
And that's, of course, the witchcraft of Esau Edom. Okay, using, of course, divination. You might see something might appear cheaper, on sale. Okay, they putting things on sale, saying it's on sale at a cheaper price, but things have really have been raised. Okay, all right, we got this bananas on sale for was it like maybe they'll say for example organic bananas for like 79 cents, or more, so even more, maybe like perhaps 99 cents a pound. They'll say it's on sale, like say they might drop it, say it's on sale, but they'll drop the price only to reveal that The new price is a higher price. You know, it's an inflated price. You know what I mean? This meaning, you know what I mean? The same thing that you have received or bought uh, at a, lower price in times past, now at a higher price. And also, or the actual amounts that you get is less. That definitely does suck, because, as we continue to work, our wages are not increasing, and many people, they have just gave up on working, and like they're allowing many people to just live off of these government benefits, and for those that are working, uh, many people are getting a bit tired of dealing with the shite with the bosses and stuff. You know what I mean? The management and on head. Because it seems as if those that are in these positions at these jobs, they're not laying or getting rid of these employees because they know they're gonna make out better in certain cases if they are unemployed and such. Getting another under the table job and do some side hustles and just grind and be better off than being under the thumb of these ease. All right, these demons. So slack it one moment. Shalom.
Oh, shalom, 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 Yahweh, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Hakodash. Hey, Salaki, but I didn't mean to just throw a call at you, but I'm just calling you out. I just put the video up, and I put it on my other account, but this account I had to change the word of certain things to fix them. They gave me a long time to upload, so I had to stop it and then put the. I just put on the road. I put on the first part.
Just send me like a link.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
All right, Slacky Aki, of course, had the Ak hit me up, so we're gonna continue. But yeah, so let's just continue with the video.
How is this happening? This is so much corruption and so many lies that I can't even begin to understand how they can pull the wool over the eyes of the American people and over the eyes of the world into thinking that everything is back to business as normal.
And like again, it's Esau, man. Esau with that power of being Satan. The Prince of Power of the Air, man. Deception. Now the thing is about us, we're in the light, so we're not ignorant. But of course, many that are still asleep, they're still able to fall for these things. But as it says here, let me see. There's other scriptures. Let me see. Let's see if I can find a scripture, maybe in Nahum or something like that. This is Nahum chapter 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot will be America, Babylon the Great, okay, the mistress of witchcraft. All right, mistress of witchcraft, another title. Okay, mistress and witchcraft. Going to Kasap, which is sorcery. All right, here, which usually Kasap is like silver, money. Right, so America practices due, of course, spiritual demon Satan, Esau being a ruler, practiced witchcraft and sorcery. Use witchcraft and sorcery. This is pretty apart because I never went into this particular precept to look into this, because usually when I go to go into Esau, Edom, that spirit which in Esau, going back to that snake that's within was within the garden, which was another man. He practices witchcraft. All right. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. All right, men are likened unto beasts, by the way. Okay, you can go into that in the precepts. But again, as I always show you, this Hebrew word nachash, which of course is brought out, of course, by the elders and the apostles, of course, goes back when you go into it to one that practices divination. All right, and practice fortune telling. Okay, and he does that. He's giving you, a projection. Telling you things are gonna get good, but things are actually becoming perpetually worse. Okay, so America, through of course the spiritual demon Satan, through Esau, Edom, the physical counterpart, it practices witchcrafts, sorcery. That's why you can't believe everything that you see and everything that you hear. Because there's a lot of enchantments going out. But as it is written, for the elect, as it's written, I believe Numbers 23, if I'm not mistaken, and 23, it goes into how surely there's no enchantment against Yaikwab, Kaya La'ah, for not Nachash, no enchantment, okay, Ba Yaikwab, Ba Yaikwab, Slakia, and it says Jacob, okay, Wa La'ah, and no Kwasam, which goes into divination, Ba Yasha'Allah. Ba usually means N, alright? And you have Ka'ith, alright? Which goes into as time, if I'm not mistaken, or according to this time, it is said Jacob and Israel what had the power wrought, alright? So, we that are children of the day, we're not ignorant. Because remember, E has casted a veil and a spell over the entire earth, okay? But going on, it says that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and all these different philosophies and beliefs that it pushes out. Is democracy, it's religion, it's Saddam, all right, sodomy, and of course, amongst some of the things, the image of this place, the system. You know what I mean? It says, it selleth nation through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Right. Alright, through these different spells, that it has the power to be able to do. So, to put out or cast out. Okay? So, this is one big place of tricks. All right. Let me get another scripture, which is Isaiah chapter. It's either 24 or 25. That talk about. This is the book of Isaiah or Yeshaya, chapter 25 and verse 7. And it reads and it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people. All right. And the veil that is spread over all nations. So, the Lord is going to destroy Babylon, America. And of course, upon that destruction, it's going to unveil, that veil, you know what I mean? The covering cast over all people, you know what I mean? Because also you have it where people don't even know their own nationality and such, especially Israel, all right? But thankful to the Lord being merciful on us, having grace, through this knowledge, we know who we are. Our remnant has returned, and he will swallow death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away all tears from all faces. All right, this would be, of course, of Israel, and rebuke of his people shall he take away from all the earth, for the Lord has spoken it. All right, and what the Lord speaks, don't go back to him so void. Now, going on to the video again, you're gonna see, gonna drop some good stuff again.
This, of course, raises concern among the community and the world that a wave of inflation is on the way. Copper, iron ore, steel, corn, coffee, wheat, soybeans, lumber, semiconductors, plastic, cardboard, everything is going up. Shortages are being seen around the world. The world is seemingly low on all of it. You name it, we have a shortage on it. That's according to Tom Linebarger, chairman and chief executive of engine and generator manufacturer Cummins Inc. He said on a call this month that clients are trying to get everything they can. Jennifer Rumsey, the Columbus, Indiana-based company's president, said that they think they are going to extend into next year with severe shortages that drive prices up. The difference...
So, I mean, they're talking about this going into next year. I mean, you already got shortage the new, I thought, right now and such. So, and then they're even those that are within the industry projecting that it's going to continue. That just goes to show you that if you see somebody talking about things are returning onto a normal, they're lying. Okay, and things are getting worse, and it proves that the Lord. His word is true, because he already gave and told these things, declared these things, gave the report to the prophets, and we have warned you already. Okay, so, and that's important too, for we walk by faith and not by sight. That's right. And we have faith within, and that's 2 Corinthians 5:7. We have faith within the words, the prophecies that the Lord wrote. Okay, and it's manifesting itself to be true. All right. So the scripture I'm looking for, the storehouses. This precept is in Ezra. And this is Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Yeah, your treasuries, are Atazar, going back to Awatazar, going to storehouses and such. Okay, like you go to a store, that armor, where you have goods and stuff stored up. All right. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. We're having that happen. All right, and on top of that too, you have things that are increasing, inflation in price, making it difficult for you to obtain these things. All right, things that, back orders and such, things that are being, stuck on ships, across the sea. A lot. There's a lot the Lord is doing right now. Okay, that's affecting this place. All right. Like I said, I can already see it. I mean, already from the pandemic, you had it where you had the whole toilet roll thing. And then, I saw, of course, that's panic buying. You had the various rubbing alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, some of these different medical goods and such. But you thought that was something, which, like I said, a lot of panic buying was that reason for that. But now it's due to shutdowns and lack of laborers and loading these different containers and ships. Of course, the ships getting stuck, and a lot of these goods that we once had are now in shortages. Things are going, the Lord is sending also mass different weather catastrophes to hurt this place. Okay, too, damaging the crops. So then, the yield that you once had is no longer available, and what we do have is at a short supply. Okay, so you have to be very, very mindful of the time, measure the time diligently in itself. Okay.
Difference between different financial events and this one are the magnitude of what is happening right now. The fact that there is, as far as anyone can tell, no end in sight. Big or small, individual or corporate, this is affecting everybody. Nobody is spared, they're warning. This, of course, is a multifaceted issue. We have broken the supply chain. And with that break in the supply chain comes inflation. With the financial crisis comes inflation. We're going to see price increases over the course of the next 3 and 5 years that are going to make it so that what you could buy 2 years ago become a luxury. What you could buy just throwing money at it didn't matter. You just bought it because you saw it and it looked fun or looked good or looked like it would taste good. That suddenly becomes a luxury.
Yeah, you have it where, like, I used to buy, a lot of things, you know what I mean? You used to be able to buy sneakers, trainers, shoes, and, clothes. Just like, oh, I'm bored, let me go spend some money. Now you're actually considering every single purchase that you make. Where in times past you would, be at work and, just go to every day to a convenience store and, you buy your coffee, buy, breakfast sandwich, at lunchtime, buy lunch and buying dinner. You may cook dinner, go to the grocery store. Now you have it where you might not go to the grocery store for over 2 weeks. Okay, and you stretch things out. The places that you used to frequent before the pandemic, before a lot of these prices went up, because you could go, like I said, I went, this Mexican restaurant, actually Mexican, it's just like a little Mexican, pizza shop. The prices is up, $9 for a burrito, for 3 tacos, $9. Like, that's where it used to be $5, that's crazy. So, and, it's like I was in there and I bought two slices, 3 tacos, and a burrito, which, like I said, is generous in size of everything and actually good, but it cost me $23. But when he first said the price, he said 23, or I thought he said 33, and I was like, what is it, 33 or 23? He said 23. I was still even shocked, at that. Something like that would have cost me like probably about $15 or something like that. You know what I mean? Five, and yeah, like the slices of pizza with a can of soda or something like that. So things definitely have changed, and of course, these business owners, they're trying their hardest to try to retain these customers, but these customers are we can't sustain. You can, but you'll be losing out on a lot. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time, friends shall fight one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And the springs and the fountains shall stand still. In 3 hours they shall not run. So because of these things, these are gonna bring straits to the earth, where many people are gonna turn against one another. Okay, I can see pretty much the uncertainty in the eyes of this particular business owner. You know what I mean? This Mexican, this Issacarite. Okay, when I go in there, because I used to go there. I used to go there pretty much every day when I was at work. The man, I could easily spend $100 a week at this place. Now you'll be surprised if I go there once a month. You know what I mean? Like, that's how much it has been. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if there's another scripture I have that comes to mind that talk about those. You pretty much got to prepare to, as if you lost, gonna lose or lost, in a sense. Okay. We're gonna lose a lot of things, but also gonna gain the kingdom, for us, if you can, of course, understand us on the for the salvation, okay, aspect. You know what I mean? Because it's manyfold, twofold, scripture. I was thinking of right there. So let me see if I can find it. Just give me a moment. It's in Ezra, if I'm not mistaken. The second Ezra chapter 16, around 45. The second Ezra 16 and 45, and like you said, things becoming a luxury. I definitely feel like that right now. You know what I mean? You might go out with brothers. Brothers might help one another to eat. You know what I mean? Because like I said, things have changed. You're not going there to eat that much. So when you do go out to eat, you do cherish that food. You know what I mean? The food actually tastes even better. You know what I mean? Things have definitely changed, man. I'll tell you that. Lord is definitely working. It says, and therefore they that labor. Actually, I can start a bit above. It's Sakya. This is the book of Second Ezra chapter 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 39. And it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. All right, it's not slack. Okay, as you can see, and the world shall mourn. Okay, and this is causing a lot of mourning and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. All aspects. Many people, their lives are turned into, a living shawwal, which this is shawwal. This is hell, a condition, a lower state, for us Israelites. But it's also these curses are turning on these other nations, these heathen. You know what I mean? Esau. All right, he's in his fall. It says, "Oh my people, hear my word," and they'll be the first to try to shut you up from speaking this stuff. That's why you see our videos being suppressed more and more, because these things are becoming so more evident. They don't want to hear the doom and gloom. You know what I mean? Because they know they're going into slavery. But anyway, if you don't know, you will know. "Oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and those evils and those bad times, even be as pilgrims on the earth." So that's how you have to be, as a pilgrim. Always going about, not having a set place of settling. Okay, you go place to place. All right. "He that selleth, let him be as one that fleeth away." Right. "And he that buyeth, as one that will lose." Right. And I definitely, feel like that. Even your, those that, because you gotta pretty much, to make money, you take money to make money. You know what I mean? You gotta have some money invested, and you'll of course flip it. You buy that, that 1 pound of ground beef, and then you'll of course divide that up. Whereas you could feed a family on a certain amount. Like, say for example, just make an example. Buy a pound of ground meat, get a can of pasta sauce, some herbs. You could eat with that, which in times past used to cost you pasta, organic pasta. I buy like it could be like $2 to $3, maybe even $4. But you could pretty much under $20. You can make a decent meal that can even sustain you for multiple days instead of just buying that one pack of one spaghetti entree at a store. You know what I mean? So this is the type of thoughts of course brothers got to get themselves into as well. I must note because things are gonna continue to crunch, but remember the Lord's servants are gonna eat and we're gonna have abundance. So this is all just part of the rocky road and part of the straight gate. And it says he that occupies, because remember we live an austere life. He that preoccupy merchandise as though he shall not profit die. And merchandise, that you have that merchandise, these different owners, they have things. I mean, you gotta think that they'll profit by. You have it where different owners, they might like in my case, they might hook you up with like something like that. That's cutting into your profit margins, everything that you give up and stuff. You know what I mean? But they try to do that to keep, retain some of these customers that have disappeared. And he that buildeth as though he shall not dwell therein. So, even you have a house or something like that, you gotta think, you might have to get up and go. All right. He that soweth as if he shall not reap, he that plant that he should not reap, because remember the Lord is destroying a lot of these different things, these different harvests, yields, and such. So also he that planteth the vineyard as that he shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as though they shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. So you working in vain. So it speaks much even more. I'm gonna skip down verse 47. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities and their houses and their possessions in their own persons, the more will I be angry for them for their sins, said the Lord. So ultimately the Lord, he's not happy with this whole setup, and he's going to continue to bring destruction upon it. Let's play a little bit more and then close out.
And something you save up for. Oh, you wanted that pastry? You wanted that $9 pie? Well, now that $9 pie is a $23 pie, and you and your family have to wait for somebody's birthday to get it. It used to be that on payday or just going to the grocery store, you would walk by the aisle and you would see it and you go, oh, that looks good. Let's go. Go ahead and put it in the basket, hon. Now it's a luxury. And it's not just food. It's goods. It's everything. It's clothes. You just wait until you show up to work one day and one of your coworkers has his pant leg that used to be pristine. It was crisp, had the creases just right. Now it's got a big patch, but you can tell the color is different there. And why is that? Because he can't afford to go buy new pants. He's thankfully has a job, but he can't afford to buy new pants. And so he just keeps on working, just keeps on pushing forward. Billions of people around the world right now live in despair and, of course, varying degrees of poverty. They can't entertain the thought of a 30% increase in price. When you look at companies, hundreds of thousands of them, and possibly I would say millions of companies around the world, or people who work with companies, were sitting on the brink of bankruptcy in the year 2019 and the year 2020. They were barely hanging on, barely getting by.
And that ain't
so
change.
They can't stomach a 20% increase in raw goods.
Right.
They can't stomach a 30 to 50% increase in raw goods.
Right, because, they already took a hit, and then things are now increased. So then, now that things are increased, they had already took a hit. They didn't make any money due to things being shut down. Things, they don't have that much of a much capital, money to buy these raw goods to make, whatever they produce. Okay, so then, of course, you would increase prices, but then the customers are like, damn, this is too much. I can't afford it. So then you're putting out these different businesses. Okay.
Are good prices. So everyone is stuck. They're holding out for something that is never going to happen. They're holding out for things to get back to the way they were in 2018. Europe's largest fleet of trucks says that there's been a struggle to find capacity. Monster Beverage is dealing with aluminum can shortages. Hong Kong's Momax Technology is delaying production of new products because of shortages. For any
Right. So even cars, and you have it. I was watching this other video. This one lawn care company. They were looking for a new truck, but there's really no new trucks like that. You have big major chip shortages. Um, which is important for the components for these newer vehicles, which are so digital and have all these different sensors and et cetera, et cetera. Well, they're looking for a new truck, but they were go, and there were really none there. And if they did get one sent to the lot, say like they went to various lots and went to another lot, they inquire to see if this truck was available. They go and check, and it's already sold. You know what I mean? But the rest of the trucks that are there, they're used trucks, other used vehicles, and the dealership is actually making parking the vehicles in a way to make it appear as if there's massive inventory, or at least they have a decent amount of cars when they don't. So things are, people are still trying to run that illusion and cast a doubt, but or cast the belief as if things are becoming better, but things are not. So of course, arm yourself likewise. This is Ephesians chapter 2:1, and you hath he quickened, which means chayah, which goes into brought to life, all right, made alive, who were dead in trespass and sins, where in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, Satan, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, right? Among whom also we've had our conversation, our conduct, okay, our behavior in times past, in the lusts of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh of the mind, and where by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But the power who is rich in chesed or mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sin, he hath quickened us together. By grace ye are saved. Call Elohim la Yah Bashem Shai, Bashem Rakako Dash, double honor to Apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the elect. Of course, going on, I'm going to read. It says, and hath raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Hamashiach Yahushai. When the word called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahushai. Hamashiach is the anointed one. That in ages to come he might show exceedingly riches of his grace in his kindness towards us through Hamashiach Yahushai. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and not of yourselves, is a gift of the Most High, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are the workmanship created in Yahushua Mashiach unto good works, which the power hath before ordained that we should walk in them. So we are supposed to walk into the ordinance of the Lord. And like I said, walk by faith and not by sight. So shalom to the elect. Till next time. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shai.